Hello. Welcome back to another headphone review. Today's candidate, is the Kiwi Ears Altruva. Now, Kiwi Ears did send me these headphones for free, but I'm not being sponsored to say anything about them, so the opinion of the headphones is completely from my personal use with them. Now, I've been using them for about 3 weeks now, and for my first decent set of over-ear open backs, it's got quite a lot to it, honestly, So these are headphones with 50mm drivers and an impedance of just 32 ohms, and it's pretty impressive considering the massive size, of these things. And these are massive, And in the box, it comes with a nice little 3-meter cable here, which is nice to see, braided, but not balanced, unfortunately. It's also got a little 3.5 to 6.35mm converter, which is super nice, and it's also threaded, so that makes sure it's a nice fit there. And guess what? Look at this. Replacement earpads. Why don't more companies do this? And it's such a refreshing change of pace, especially at this price point of just $69.99. Nice. And look at this, look at this. Come on. That's how easy it should be for all the headphones. The construction of these is also, quite well done. We've got an overall metal construction here. These are plastic ear cups though, but the headband is metal. And it's also got this nice self-adjusting headband, although a little bit on the weak side, so it does move around a lot. And yeah, if you shake your head at all, it basically just falls right off. They've also got this gorgeous wood version, which I was really hoping to get, but it was out of stock at the time of getting these. So now they've got this nice little metal mesh on the side here, and it's got the logo on the inside, which does look really nice, honestly. The thing is, the only other open backs I tried before this were the Cossport Pros and the Grado SR80s. So putting these on for the first time was, definitely interesting. These are massive, and for the sound quality, these are really interesting. I was expecting to be balanced, considering open backs, audiophile quality, yada yada. But it was pretty surprising to see that they were a little more bass heavy, and they've got that the fun response curve where the bass is nice and punchy, but everything else is still super clear. So it's really nice to use it, and even for gaming as well. So you can hear the footsteps and gunshots and those lower frequency sounds much easier. Although a strange thing was that the frequency response graph wasn't on the website, and I'm kind of surprised that for a wired set of headphones they didn't have that, but they had it for the wireless ones, the Ardors, which I just reviewed. But here it is anyways, And it was also pretty surprising that these are, when you put them on, they're definitely more bass heavy than the Ardors do, considering that's Bluetooth and this is wired. But hey, it's not a bad thing. But it's definitely something to consider when you get them. But definitely, being open backs, they've got that open back magic to them, where it's just it's hard to describe in words. It's honestly just an experience. It's super clear, and it's got that really nice sound stage. I feel like the mids are a bit overshadowed by the bass and the treble, which has got that little scoop, but it's definitely a great experience. Listening to Bohemian Rhapsody was insane. I've heard the song so many times, but you can feel the bass and the instruments in there, and you can definitely tell each instrument apart from each other one. So it's everything's super nice and clear. It's hard to explain. You need to try an open back headphones to actually understand. And of course, since they are open backs, you can hear everything, keyboard sounds and everything else you do on the desk. But they don't leak audio that easily, surprisingly. I really had to put my ear next to them to really hear the song, or you just put them at full volume, and they also get super loud. And it has a little distortion too, so nice. Now, with that, I have one major downside, one really big downside with these headphones. This is honestly a break for me. The ear cups, Kiwi Ears, why? They don't swivel. Oh. As Dankport says again and again, our ears don't sit flat on our head. They're kind of angled, So you need that swivel. Otherwise, it just will not create a proper seal on your head. And these don't have anything at all. So when I wear them, it's I already have glasses, so it's kind of, sticking out from here. And now that these are completely straight, the back of them just doesn't seal with the head properly. And switching to the other earpads did make it slightly better, since it, brings the drivers a little closer, so it's not as noticeable. But come on, it didn't completely seal. Kiwi Ears, man. Such great headphones, tuned in such a fun way as well. Like, I'd easily recommend these to anybody wanting to get a nice starter pair of open backs, especially at this price point. It's really nice. But that could completely, I don't know. It's kind of a put down. No, I can't leave it here. I've got this thing called Fusion 360 and a 3D printer. You know what that means? Yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest. I thought that these were like screws, like hex, these the funky bit. I thought that they were like screws and you could unscrew this, and I was thinking of making my own 3D printed headband and then maybe making the design open source. But this looks like the rivets, and I might have stripped one of them a little bit. Interesting. Well, if I figure it out, I'll let you guys know.